and this is Game 2. I am Seamus, joined by Octavian today. And Octavian, what do you expect out of this pick and ban phase?
Well, as you said, there is a power player on the other side in terms of Riven, so we're going to have to see Lowell pick up that Riven ban somewhere. Either that, or pick a champ that specifically deals well with a Riven in lane. They're going to have to work around that. Even though we didn't see it last game, it's something that's on their minds. But perhaps more pressing on their minds is the insanely good Caitlyn that we saw White play last game. They have to deal with it. They have to find some way to work around that as well.
But they definitely do, and looking at the bans so far, these similar bans, we've seen all three of these champions banned out in game 1. Aurelia banned out. Interesting. So they feared Kei Soju's Aurelia so much, and honestly, I think that's a fairly good ban, because we did see Kei Soju take advantage of staying in that mid lane.
That's very true. It wasn't quite as showy, perhaps, as what White did with the perfect KDA, but the Aurelia was a big player in that game, and taking their time, Lowell is considering these bans quite a bit, and I can't blame them.
For the last ban, the question is, the Caitlyn, the Riven, what do you give them? No, they banned the Alistar!
Positive.
So, of course! Positivity instantly locking it in. Or not locking it in, hovering.
True. But, well, the thing about Riven is that she is sorta unreliable in the top lane as far as the laning phase itself goes. If she falls behind, in the hands of an experienced player, she can still be somewhat useful, but she's so damage reliant, so item reliant, that if she falls behind, she's nowhere near as useful as some other top laners.
That's very true. But perhaps Positivity was just hovering over it to make them fear it, and then Free Gaming hovering over the Riven as well. Now, he hasn't played as many games as Positivity has, but maybe they want to pick up Riven, simply take it away from Positivity. That being said, there is still a Caitlyn available for Lowell High School if they want to take it away from Wootton. As, like you said, White had a fantastic game, perfect KDA, and completely bullied Janora and Sage in that mid lane. The question is, do they let him potentially pick this Caitlyn up again?
I don't think either side really wants to show their hand as far as bot lane is concerned so far. The Sivir lock-in would be really, really brave going into the lane they faced last game. Taeyeon is, I do like it much better with the Sejuani than an Ever.
Yes. That's one thing they lacked last game. They did not have any real crowd control.
Or early ganking power.
Right, and both of those are instantly remedied with that Sejuani pick.
And early ganking power alone could have been enough perhaps to offset the Caitlyn. It was like a perfect storm for that Caitlyn. There was nothing that could lock her down from a long enough distance in the team fight, and there was nothing that could stop her rampage in the laning phase.
So we will see what Lowell decides. The rest of their composition, White, or I should say, White is hovering over the Azir for Kei Soju. And this would be interesting because we saw Tsang play him last game and got bullied around, but maybe they want to take it away just so that they have that power. The Emperor of Shurima is a very contested pickup. Oh. No, they're going to pick up both. That is a lot of poke coming out. And again, White's Caitlyn is going to be back in this game.
And if they consider Aurelia to be the be-all end-all counter to Azir, which
he's gone,
they do, they've already had that problem taken care of for them by Lowell, who decided to ban it out because they were so scared of Kasoju's Aurelia. Which I have a suspicion, we've only seen a single game, it's not a huge sample size, but I do have a suspicion that the Aurelia was picked in response to the Azir. It's not something that he pulls out as a sort of fallback option in mid.
Yeah, we're talking about the strengths and weaknesses of that lane earlier in the game, and it really was just the fact that Kei Soju took great advantage of the Aurelia, but he probably also knew how to take advantage of an Azir, which I'm assuming means he knows how to play Azir as well. See how he does in that mid lane. Now Janora and Sage are hovering over the Gnar and Janna. Janna, in a similar sense, Soraka will provide a little bit of shielding for that Caitlyn harassed in lane, but I think she is a better champion than Soraka because she does more. So I would agree with that.
Follow-ups on the ganks, better ability to kite backwards against any dive movements on the scene come in. in these last 2 picks here.
Yeah, she definitely just is a more versatile champion, and we also see that top lane Gnar for free gaming. So Lowell High School, it seems like they knew what their mistakes were in the last game. They are trying to remedy those mistakes. Will it be enough? We're about to see.
And all the way to this pick here.
I think positivity is going to do it. I don't know if, honestly, I don't think it would fit in the team composition, but I think he just has that sort of confidence that he can play Riven in whatever situation and carry with it. 15 seconds left.
It's an interesting matchup, the Riven versus the Gnar, because any matchup with a Gnar in lane is interesting, simply because of the way that his transformation works. He fulfills a few different methods of laning, and I'm really not sure who's going to win that one.
What's interesting is Riven, because she is such a high skill ceiling champion, is one of the few champions though that can out damage Gnar both in mini and mega form, so long as the Riven player plays it correctly. Last pick is going to be a Nautilus pickup, which is going to be a lot of hard engage from Wootton High School. And Sang is hovering over this Orianna. If he does lock it in, that means Lowell now has a fantastic wombo combo composition.
Pantheon? I don't have anything for that. Just Pantheon, question mark. No, probably not going to be going with the Spartan, but perhaps a Syndra. Syndra
still has a couple of bugs, though, so I'm not sure if I want to play that. I think it's going to be the Orianna.
Yeah, I like the Orianna pick the best out of those 3 potentials, and it seems to work really well with the comp they've already set up as well.
Absolutely. Put the ball on the Gnar, you put the ball on the Sejuani, boom.
And then you can get the Sejuani or the Gnar in range of the enemy team with the Sivir backup. It's a well-working composition. They all fit together, unlike last game where we didn't quite see the synergy that they needed.
Yeah, so they do have the stronger composition, but on the flip side, Wootton High School, they do have their comfort picks. You know, that Gragas, that Riven, White on the Caitlyn again. So it's a little bit of composition versus comfort now. It's interesting because that's kind of a flip from last game, where Lowell High School had more of the comfort picks and less of the cohesive. So we'll see if High School can make this work for them. If they would win this game, that'd be a clean 2-0, and that would be a sort of emphatic victory, showing the other 3 teams that are going to make it to the semifinals that we're here to play. On the other side, if Lowell High School come back, make us go to game 3, and win that game, that would be a showing of, you know, we can come back against a strong team. So either way, both teams have a lot on the line with this.
And the one pick we didn't quite get to, I think it was the very last one we saw here besides the Orianna, was Yami going in for the Nautilus support. Alistar was banned out, and he went with basically the closest thing you can get in the current meta to the cow. Engage, tankiness, the ability to lock down an enemy. He perhaps specializes a bit more in the lockdown and less in the sustain during lane, but still, a very similar playstyle in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so we're going to see how works out. Can Lowell High School get the clean 2-0? But we will have to wait for the spectator delay to what happens. It's going to be a couple of minutes, guys, but we're going to play some music and some ads. Don't go anywhere. This is the High School Star League. ladies and gentlemen, we have loaded into Summoner's Rift. This is Game 2 between Lowell High School and Wootton High School. Just to make sure, Octavian, are you in?
I am indeed.
Are you at 48 seconds?
49, 50.
Fantastic. So, Octavian, while I messed a little bit with the overlay, I have a question. What do you think is going to be the most important lane matchup this game?
Judging by last game's performance, I'm going to have to go with bottom lane. Perhaps top, though. I have not seen Positivity on his Riven, and judging by all the hype I've heard, that guy can play it.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking, honestly. I haven't seen Positivity's Riven, but, you know, scouting both these teams, I have seen that he plays it a whole bunch. Whether or not it works out. Because if a Riven gets fed, your team is going to be dead. Octavian, I thought of all of that just now in my head.
You're a poet.
Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop now. I swear I'm going to stop. I'm sorry, guys. But, yeah, we'll see. Free Gaming went for that cloth armor. Probably a good idea because we want to try to mitigate any incompression in the top lane. But once again, Caitlyn's super matchup in bot. That's going to be rough.
I think after that terrible of a joke, you're no longer allowed to make the lane tax joke, even if a good situation does come up.
Excuse me? Are you hating on my rhyming skills, Octavian?
I would be if you had any.
Sorry, lag. Hello, Octavian. I can hear you. I think you gotta leave now. But
oh, I'm sorry about that. I'll go. I'll show myself out.
I'll solo cast. It's no worries. Anyway.
They are looking to try and lay on the pressure in the bottom lane already. Yami is positioning pretty aggressively. And White has managed to get a few auto attacks down, waiting for the Eye of the Storm to drop before tossing the Pilt over. This guy, he knows the matchup.
Yeah, he definitely does. White and Yami, the fact that they're going to be able to push, they're going to be able to get the early level 2 is going to be a big problem for Lowell's bot lane. We saw the Sivir Kate matchup before, and it was not pretty.
Maybe the addition of a Jinx, I mean, not a Jinx, a Janna. It started with J, it's the same champion. Instead of a Soraka. Could prove the difference here, as Janora takes yet more poke and gets pushed underneath the tower. A lot of mana for that minion.
A lot of mana indeed. This bot lane is definitely going to be rough. For anyone watching, for some reason I'm having a little bit of a struggle with the overlay, but that's not a huge deal. Y'all can see it just fine. We'll get back to the game. Looking at other lanes at the moment, though, this mid lane so far is going much, much better for Tsang. Last game against the Aurelia from Keisoju, at this point in the game, he was already falling behind. Yeah,
this is just much more of a safer champion that he's playing the matchup on. Rather, a safer champion that he's against. As Orianna, it is much easier to hold a lane against an Azir, and there's no risk of being absolutely destroyed if you just fall behind a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely is going to be able to farm if he does end up behind. He's falling behind a little bit, but he should be just fine, because an Azir really isn't going to just jump onto you like an Aurelia will. So let's see how that works out.
Janora is running out of the blue magic juice. Doesn't have very much mana left to farm under the turret, and he keeps getting pushed under the turret. He's keeping even on CS so far, but it might be a little while before that changes.
Has gone fine, but especially because they're going to be under turret. Sivir's okay at farming under turret. The thing is, though, she needs the mana to use the spells to be able to take those minions down. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. First, she can get a little bit of mana back with that spell shield, but we're going to have to see how that goes. Free Gaming, actually, rating fairly well against Positivity in this top lane. Hasn't chugged a single potion so far.
I'd be interested, because the top lane could be so important, and because against a Riven in particular, it's kind of swingy. Whoa, the hook hits a minion. But I'd be interested to see whether or not Taiwan will try and match maybe some of the pressure that Tax is going to be putting in up here.
Taiwan. Not the country.
Taiwan, yeah, there's no second W there, but he's going mid instead.
Speak of the devil.
Soju just takes an auto attack before backing off. Ooh, the stun, not quite connecting on the free game.
Oh, come on. Why didn't he take the lane, or the minion? That would have been a lane tax. Come on, Tax! Throw me a bone.
Yeah, you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait a bit
I don't
longer,
even think
perhaps until the next drag is gone.
I don't think I'm going to do it at this point. I've been talking about it so much, but it hasn't happened that the hype won't be there.
There won't be as much of a payoff. It's just
Yeah.
just disappointing at this point.
I'll think of more creative puns. Positivity, a Meganar, but if you want to trade against a Meganar, he's pretty mega. Oh, Tang.
Tax takes a bunch of damage here. Sang was going a bit aggressive there.
Heal forced out.
They managed to chase him off, yeah. Ooh, the spell shield catches onto the hook. Yami still got pulled next to him. If a hook doesn't CC the target, if the target is dead, or for some other reason the hook doesn't successfully land its crowd control onto a target, it pulls the Nautilus all the way to them, rather than half and half, pulling the enemy half towards you and Nautilus half towards them.
Right, and importantly, it'll move the Nautilus towards where the champion was. So the fact that Janora stepped backwards a little bit and Yami went to where he was when he used the spell shield, but that Yami couldn't get the auto attack or the E off to provide any other crowd control. Because even if you spell shield the initial Q, if it brings him close enough, he will be in trouble. Taiyan
He was looking for...
tried to go for the seal, but not going to be able to take it.
Yeah, he was trying to take some sort of advantage off of the fact that Tax got so low in that mid lane gank, but it was just too late. He got there way too late to be able to take advantage of that missing health on the Gragas.
And so, interestingly, both junglers, they've been seeing each other quite a bit, so we really haven't seen any successful ganks. Look at what Positivity just spot.
That is a lot of swords.
I don't even
This
think
man wants to cut things.
Yeah, Riven doesn't have enough hands to use all those swords, though.
She taped one to the end of the other sword. Broken one.
So she could go One Piece style Zoro, have one sword in her mouth. Maybe. She has 4 swords right now.
It is a joy casting with you, Sirius. You make the best references.
Oh, I'm glad you got that, because some people wouldn't have gotten it, and then, oh, I don't know. Anyway, first dragon of the game is going to go over to Wootton High School, because Tax did see Taiyan was low, and this is a mistake we saw from Lowell last game as well. They didn't really expect an early dragon in game number 1. It seems like they did not expect a dragon in number 2.
It's something of a side effect of White getting Caitlyn in both of these games. He's able to put on so much pressure in the bottom lane that they couldn't react even if they wanted to these dragon takes. It's perhaps, maybe next game, we'll be seeing a lane swap if they want to pull out something like that. That could be pretty good for them. Just escape the Caitlyn if they're gonna let it through again.
Oh, if there is a next game, I really feel that
That's
Lowell
true.
High School, a lane swap would have been very effective, because not only would they no longer be in this matchup against White on that Caitlyn, but they could also slow Positivity down. A Gnar will do much, much better than a Riven in a lane swap, so I think you're right. Lowell High School, they could have done that, and the fact that best of 3 series might mean have a chance next game. Although, however, they could just go into the top lane now, but it looks like they're going to be returning to the bot lane.
A bit too little too late, it would be, most likely. That Riven already has quite an armory full of swords.
Indeed, she does, and we see the swords taking their toll now.
Oh, the Hyper Proc is landing. Oh, she dashed into the boomerang. Thankfully, the dash also gave her a shield, so it didn't chunk away at her hit points, but Positivity is actually not trading as well, perhaps, as we thought he would.
Yeah, well, I really think it's one of the only 50-50 skill matchups that Gnar has. That Riven versus Gnar. And so far, it's been even. Which, Positivity, yes, maybe he would have liked to bully Free Gaming out a little bit, but Free Gaming is a good player. All of these players are, very high diamond, master tier level, but they're not going to make any silly mistakes and let a Riven snowball out of control. They're actually going to try and maybe shut this down, but all this vision control from both these teams has been absolutely fantastic.
But, I mean, as I said earlier on when you asked me which lane was going to be most impactful, I couldn't decide between top and bottom seems to be winning out here with the amount of difference between these two AD carries. Earlier, it was just a 5 CS difference until that double kill happened, but now there's been no double kill, it's just a CS lead. White has been dominating this lane. It seems like last game was a bit of a warm-up for his laning on Caitlyn, and now he is just running that Caitlyn machine.
Yeah, honestly, in terms of CS leads, he almost has enough worth to kills simply because he's out-farmed the Sivir almost by 30. That being said, though, it's a fairly big wave pushing into Lowell High School, so long as Janora guesses well, he should get most of that. But I really would have liked to maybe see some earlier ganking from Taiyan, and especially now that he has that ultimate, that Glacial Person, they could provide a large amount of crowd control onto White. They've got to do something because they cannot keep this 2v2 going. Oh, okay, Soju.
The ulti flies wide. It doesn't land as you say onto
awkward.
Soju, and Sang is getting choked really low. He's forced to pop the heal from over the wall. He flashes to the other side, but right into the staff rather than the spear. Soju will finish off the solo kill in essentially a 1v2.
Hey, Yawn. Not expect Soju to go in on that, and Soju just makes him look like a complete fool with that dodge, and then them also picking up the kill. Now, Sang doesn't have his summoners available anymore, which means that for Orianna, not a very mobile champion. Not good for Lowell High School, because not only is their bot lane falling far behind, but now Sang is far behind too in this mid lane.
Positivity looks like he's going for the all-in here. He's down to half health himself. Free Game is going to toss him against the wall, hold him there, crunch him against the ground as well, and show him that he is not easily dueled.
Yep.
Wind Slash doesn't have much effect. Hurts people who are low on health, not people who still have half.
Gaming has been doing a fairly good job in this lane. Positivity just teleported, but he doesn't have any potions, so he's actually going to have to go back and walk to lane. That's a little bit of greed from Positivity. I don't think he should stay here, because if Gaming gets his Mechanic, he might just turret dive.
It is still a little while in the future, but that's another boomerang landing before the shield was up. And he's going to have to head on back to base. Positivity reluctantly heads home. Oh, I don't like that. Janora ate the cupcake with the shield. Perhaps right in this situation, it was good. It gave him some mana, but it's just so risky to do that because then White can toss out a Piltover and you've got nothing to block it with.
Yeah, Yami and White. Such a job in this 2 lane. Eye of the Storm might have been able to come out a little bit sooner, and Janora perhaps, again, Eye of the Storm was just a couple of milliseconds late. Auto attack did connect onto Janora.
It's stopping in a potential follow-up, but they don't really need to follow up. An auto attack here or there is enough.
If White is consistently getting 1 or 2 auto attacks, no, that's all you need. Soju.
The ult is back up, but he gets out of the shockwave with a beautifully timed flash right after the stun wears off and right before the knockback pulls him in. Positivity's going for the 1v1 again, but this stun does not land. Soju is just, he is outplaying everything that's thrown at him. This guy is showing us he has versatility, he has depth of champion.
Oh man.
There's the hook on the Janora, the snare passive from Yami was spell shielded, so it looks like he's not going to be going down, but he is definitely out of lane.
Interesting decision from White there to actually go for the ultimate, and the Janna ult blocked the channel. Now Taeyeon, he wanted to gank, but his team is gone. To hop over that dragon. Aggro, he might still be in trouble.
Hey, Yami's continuing on with the chase. He's got Caitlyn a while away, but with the extra damage from the dragon, Yami actually brings him down to half health himself.
You're the Nautilus, man. Damage.
Free Gaming seems to be trying to bring Positivity over towards the wall there. He didn't want to, so he just had to toss him away.
1 kill so far, but over a 2,000 gold lead for Wootton High School. They have 1 dragon. Note that the dragon has respawned. I think we're seeing High School be completely comfortable with slowly farming up. They know they have the lane phase advantage, so they're not really trying to push for these turrets too. Yes, they have this mid turret down, but no real crazy plays like lane swaps or anything, because they just want to continuously bully Lowell High School out. And we saw Tax went for this dragon, but it is over a ward. Bit of a mistake there. He should have cleared the ward, or you know, just barrel over. We'll probably return to that dragon pretty soon.
And we are once again seeing a pre-15 minutes Infinity Edge come out from White. This is the same story that we just saw, and it does not have a good ending for Lowell. They're going to have to change it somewhere along the line.
They definitely are if they want to force this game 3. Yami is going to clear out a ward, and it looks like they're going to start this dragon. Sang is pushed to his middle inner turret. This is going to be dragon number 2 over to Wootton absolutely for free. Let's try and fight. They should do this, though.
There's a ward on it. They see it going down, and Taeyeon is around. Janora is here as well. This might be the place where they can change the story. Might be the place where they can take advantage of something, but Taeyeon gets thrown back into the explosive cast. He doesn't make it over the wall. There it is. Charge. He's finally back up.
Fight's still going.
By the Howling Gale. Really nice ulti. Does hold two important members up of the enemy team, but Azir's going to pick up a double kill. They just couldn't burst him down quickly enough. Too many resources had already been used, and Positivity is down here with the teleport for the fight. Gets thrown against the wall. Free Gaming is forced to flash out of there as the anchor just about misses. Thankfully, Janna has a lot of movement speed.
So Free Gaming and
Dragon, 3 kills, and now probably a secondary turret because Free Gaming can't do anything about this.
Now, the teleport from Positivity was absolutely perfect. He managed to get on the back line, picked up a kill. They won the fight 3-0. The problem was Taeyeon was split up for the majority of that fight, and they weren't able to get the Wabo combo because Wootton High School's carries were all positioned and all spread out. Really fantastic play from Wootton High School. This is the first I've seen of them playing the High School Star League, and they have impressed me to no end because it's now 16 minutes, and they have over a 6,000 goal lead. They are playing a different style, but they have an even better goal lead at this point than last game.
The funny thing is, we expected this game to see Riven be something of a hand grenade, either go off or be a dud, and really, Positivity has been kind of flying low this match. He's not been the focus of a ton of attention. The rest of the map for Wootton has been doing incredibly well, which just shows us it's not all loaded into one pick or one player. This team is just overall quite good.
If you're another team in the league that's looking at this Wootton squad, that is absolutely terrifying. Positivity, like you said, he hasn't gone big or gone home. He's just been, you know, tagging along. He fell a little bit behind in CS, but basically even the goal difference with a kill onto enemy carry. And this really says that Wootton High School, they have multiple threats from multiple lanes, and we've seen in competitive play that is a huge requirement if you want to go far. I mean, even at the pro level, teams that are one-dimensional won't make it too far, and Wootton High School is anything but one-dimensional.
They are reliable in every sense of the word, and they're looking to get a turret in the top lane off of that reliability. Free Gaming forced to back off, just way too much poke.
And Mininar is not going to be able to have enough wave clear to deal with that wave. Now Tax, because he has the backup of Positivity and K3 Soju, is just able to go in. He's taking a lot of damage here. Might want to get out.
Tax killed a minion there. I think that counts as your lane, Tax. He killed one of those minions in that wave. So there you go. You can make the joke if you want to. As White and Yami push up the secondary turret in the mid lane.
Oh, good ult.
Oh, double ulti, pulling Yami under the turret. It might be the sacrificial lamb here, or the sacrificial anchor man. Song is going to pick up the first kill of the game for Lowell.
White doesn't have flash. Might be in trouble. That's a lot of cooldowns used by Lowell.
They'll get some pressure in the mid lane, but
Azir.
There is a lot of wave clear. Azir and Caitlyn with a built over as well. No minion wave survives that.
Lowell High School, they need to find an objective. The thing is, there's been such good side wave control. You see, top minion wave is pushing towards the inner turret of Lowell High School, and Positivity was dealing with that bot wave. So even though Lowell High School, they pick up a kill, they can't get any objectives off of that, and as a result, they are being stuffed out of this game.
And they are trapped between an Azir turret and their own inhibitor. They have no good options here. They have to try and clear these waves, but they simply can't in time. And their turret has a few hundred hit points left. That thing is going to fall. They're losing a secondary turret here. Positivity picking up the kill credit for that one, as they simply rotate top. Nothing too flashy here, just they can't be fought right now unless they make a mistake.
They don't have a huge minion wave, so one is coming. They're just going to go ahead and tank it, though, and probably not the right call. There is a candid minion with this wave. Janora and Fang are coming around, but we might potentially see a fight here.
Oh, the flash in from Taeyeon to follow up his ulti. However, it's still only Nautilus pulled back in. He dies. Second time in as many minutes, but it's really not that big a deal. They're going to actually keep on with the pressure here. They are playing with fire.
They wasted their Wombo combo and only hit one. Taeyeon it was a great ultimate, but his team was a little bit far away. Ouch. This could be White, K Soju, and Positivity's chance to re-engage.
Sage are forced to flash behind his teammates to try and stay alive. What was Tax doing?
Split push Gragas, man.
Split pushing does not mean walking past their inhibitor when their inhibitor turret is still up. That was inscrutable, but it seems to be working out for the guy.
But don't question the split push Gragas. These players are at a higher level than you and I, Octavian. We can only dream of knowing what they're doing. But seriously, Tax probably should have stayed with his team instead of going to split push there. That being said, though, again, Yami dies, but Lowell will get nothing else out of it. So, not really a huge problem. They just need to stop that from happening, because if the game goes on, Lowell High School's team composition will scale very, very well.
There is some truth to that. However, there's a Azir on the other side, which is kind of scary in the late game, and he's got some decent backup. Along with positivity on Riven, you give Riven a few kills even later on into the game, and she can become such a powerhouse that even despite the sort of lackluster landing phase and the... Lackluster's the wrong word, just unexciting laning phase.
Average.
Yeah, mediocre. Positivity could come out and be superb as we move farther into the game.
The thing is, though, as the game goes on, Riven isn't that effective in team fights because she can just be crowd control down. And Lowell High School, the way their composition scales is that they have such strong wombo. Oriana and Sivir are going to scale very well, Nara is going to scale very well, and then they can wrap that all in a pretty little bow, that insane ball delivery system. Now, Positivity, he's going to get chased. He's in trouble. Forced to flash.
Dodges out the boulder, thankfully. If that slow had still connected even after the flash, he might have been in trouble. But
the fact that so many people went for Positivity means this turret's going to take no damage. Just kidding. They have a Sivir.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Come on.
Just kidding, guys.
It does mean, though, that Positivity is going to keep on the push up in top lane as well. He's got some lifesteal from that Ravenous Hydra. He's perfectly fine. And despite the flash being down, he still feels safe enough to go for this push.
Playing pretty aggressively. Don might try and fight him. Ooh, nice Hydra active. Positivity actually picked it up.
Stolen away.
Yep.
They're just being slowly bled out here. They got a flash, but they can't really do too much with it. Positivity's flash is valuable, but not important. It's useful. They like to have it, but it's not the be-all, end-all of a team fight. White is still incredibly strong. They've still got dive. They've still got the ability to just absolutely wreck in one of these fights if something goes wrong.
Yeah, honestly, Lowell High School, they have a better team composition. The same mistakes this game as last game is that they've played so reactionary, and that's really frustrating to watch, honestly, because they have a team that can engage, they can make good plays, but they're just being strung around the map. I mean, Wootton High School have not given them a chance to really leave this inner wall of turrets, and you can see the aggressive wards. High School are not giving Lowell any chance to breathe and come back in this game and this series.
Yeah, that's very true. This is the second game of the series so far, and we did have a victory for Wootton last game if you're just connecting with us, and that means if Wootton managed to pull through the victory here, they'll be going on into the semifinals. It's pretty impactful. These teams are both good. We have narrowed it down to just the best here, and whoever goes forward is going to have a chance at actually winning the entirety of the tournament.
Yeah, this is the top 8 right now. Lowell High School looking like top 8 is where they're going to stop. Not the big top 8 out of 1,000 teams in the North American continent is a small feat. However, they're not really going to get a chance to compete for those $10,000 in scholarship. They go down here. 10,000 gold down in less than 25 minutes. Lowell High School need a miracle wombo combo team fight to come back in this game.
And it looks like they're going even more early game aggressive in this particular match from Wootton. We see last game, perhaps it was just because he had some more kills under his belt, White decided to go for a Phantom Dancer. This time, with just a huge farm lead and not some kills on top of that, he's gone with a Static Shiv instead, looking to just apply the pressure here.
Think about the Static Shiv. The Phantom Dancer is more effective, especially in the late game, but the Static Shiv gives chance to push harder. The waves will be pushing harder. They'll be getting that electricity, that little chance to even crit and do a lot of damage to multiple embers of the enemy team. And it really is an option you'll see AD carries go for if they want early aggression and to be able to clear these turrets quickly. And they've done so absolutely fantastically. It's been 6 turrets to 0. Every inner turret is down. Now with the Baron buff, these inhibitor turrets might be going down as well.
Yeah, and the 4-1 push here. Positivity. He may not... Whoa, actually, Tyon is going into this fight. There's the ball delivery system. He's going to pull in 3 members, but nobody's going down. Seja is getting bursted away. White is allowed to auto-attack after all the CC has had its say. He did not fall. So they get a kill back. They get the top lane. Turret 3 Gaming cannot stop this Battle Bunny Riven.
That fight... just not enough, not good enough Wombo, and they're looking for more. Denora's in trouble.
Denora is going to get burned away by the auto attacks from White as Tax looks to try and continue the engage. A nice net Q combo. Doesn't get the kill, though. Still, though, 2 inhibitors, perfectly worth it.
Baron buff, they might even be able to end. We actually pause. Well, the headset died, so hopefully that should be fixed.
Accurate. Communications are a fairly important thing in a 5-player game, I would say.
To be fair,
so hopefully
though,
we'll be...
At this point in the game, doesn't matter. You're down 2 inhibitors, 13,000 gold, 26 minutes. It is very important, and hopefully Thing finds a headset to come back. But I'm not sure that a headset will help Lowell come back in this game.
True, but they don't have any other options at this point. Last game, they could take stock of where they were, what they need to change, and move on into the next match. There will be no next match if they lose here. They have to make this work. Tax gets knocked up there by Taeyeon, dashing in on the pig, but it's
White is
like
low.
He was barely even touched.
Aren't able to get anything else. Janora hasn't even respawned yet. Dragon is up in 1 minute 10 seconds.
Steal away the blue buff. Oh, that's interesting. He was using the soldier. He was attacking the pink ward, and he had the blue buff placed in the correct position so that the soldier dealt damage to the blue buff and killed the pink ward at the same time. Efficiency.
A very clever Azir mechanics and knowledge too, and that's really something we've seen from Wootton High School. You know, we see ward and the blue clear at the same time. We saw the EQ combo from the Caitlyn in the reverse direction. Wootton High School, their players have all sorts of tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah, it's the small mechanical abilities that sometimes can make the difference amongst people who are this highly skilled, amongst Challenger, Masters, Diamond tier players. The little tiny things start to be magnified in how much they matter.
Let's see. Lowell High School, the game isn't over yet, but if they want any sort of chance, really make it or break it point. If their 3rd inhibitor goes down, there's pretty much no way they can come back.
There's very few ways they can come back already, but yeah, it is better to try and avoid the 3rd inhibitor falling. That's usually not a good thing.
Yeah, with 2 inhibitors down, especially if you have a team composition that has good wave clear, which Lowell does, you can stall out the game fairly decently. Once 3 inhibitors go down, you need almost your entire team just to deal with those inhibitors. No way you can fight objectives like Dragon or Baron. Now Tax, his team is here.
Very tanky, man. He's down to about 2/3 health. It looks like they're going to set up the Shurima turret, and they're going to sit here and camp it up. There is no reason for them to go anywhere else. They've got super minions doing the job in the other ways.
Oh,
in fact, they've even got Positivity doing the job up the top. As there's the hook, landing on the free game, he's going to come in. They need this fight, and they know it. Double kill from the Orianna ulti. Positivity is here to try and back up his team, though, and it looks like that might be enough. Double kill for the enemy mid laner as well. 2-for-2 trade, but honestly, 3-for-2 trade here as Junor falls, and that definitely favors Wootton here.
Lowell High School.
Got the push goal.
They finally found the wombo they needed. They got a 3-man continuous CC chain and managed to pick up the kill onto White. But that being said, they are just too far behind now. The rest of Wootton High School is able to pick up the kills. Goju managed to stay alive and pick up kills for his own, and this is surely going to be the game in under 30 minutes. Let's
Valiant final stand here from 3 Gaming. Tax is getting burned away, but the Nexus is barely even hurting him. Positivity now doing his best to juke around on Riven. He gets exhausted, but he has the ulti back up. There's the win slash, nearly kills 3 Gaming. One more auto or a Q, and he might have had it, but wanted to make getting out of there a priority rather than getting the kill.
Wootton High School, they might not be able to end the game in 30 minutes, but pretty sure everyone
20
knows.
more seconds to do so, and I don't think...
I'll be going for the back door. Nope.
Time.
Hey, Positivity does have teleport. If he teleports now, he could home guards and then maybe kill. But
10 seconds? No, it doesn't look like that's in the cards in this particular match. But 3 inhibitors are down. That dreaded Trinity Force of Pain that you were talking about has come to pass here.
Yeah, it does tons of damage to your Nexus.
Tons of damage to your chances of winning as well. Oof. And it looks like they've got 3 dangerous members here to push up the mid lane. They probably don't even need more than that right now, especially with teleport up on Positivity. He can come to join the fight whenever he needs to.
Well, if both White and Keisoju die, maybe they can make a
Keisoju does get caught out here. He's getting burnt down, but he has the Zonias to buy some time for his team. Positivity not actually bothering to teleport in. He's just walking up the mid lane because he knows Keisoju has it in him to pick up the double kill, become legendary, and go on to win the match and win the series.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in a 2-0 series, both games 35 and 30 minutes respectively. Oh, RIP Ro8.
Wait. Oh, White fell 0-2 and 9. As I said, I mean, they don't have one single guy that you can choose to deal with and say, okay, that will kick them, that will push them down from this pedestal they're sitting on. No, this time it was the perfect game for their mid laner. Keisoju went 9-0-3. They have a lot of threats, and you can't just choose one and deal with it.
Yeah, and that's going to be it. High school, they are going to move on in the High School Star League for the semifinals. They're going to be flown out the live event in California, if I'm not mistaken, and they are definitely looking like one of the contenders for the #1 school in North America.
Whew. Good plays, good players, and it was a good cast as well. It was fun casting alongside you, Seamoose, yet again.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're looking to follow either of us casters, you can find me at Octavian Zilch on Twitter. And where can they find you, Seamoose?
At Seamoose1. Love to talk to you guys about the game. Love to talk to you about, you know, the players or just the league in general, or anything else for that matter. Your life, how your grades are, your girlfriend, etc. I'll help you with any of that. But please don't forget to follow, of course, the High School Star League. Our Twitter handle is HS Star League. Our YouTube is High School Star League. Facebook, HS Star League as well. And, of course, this Twitch channel. And, of course, a very special thank you to our sponsors, Twitch, Tespa, Loot Crate, Jinx, MSI, Rockcat, and Newegg. They are all helping us run the show and also providing $35,000 scholarships for the players. We're going to be taking a bit of a break, guys, but we'll be back in just over an hour with the other quarterfinal game of the night. Unfortunately, I will not be casting with Octavian, but that's going to be Beckus and myself. So, Octavian, last words for the stream.
It was a blast, man. Thanks for having me along, Seamoose, and don't regret leaving me for Fekes. Fekes is a great caster in his own right. You have fun tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 1 hour and 15 minutes with the High School Star League. See you then.